What's up, guys? It's poker night. Oh, sorry. Come on.
Game.
So what happened in bio?
Oh my gosh. Please don't remind me about bio.
You know, let's
Come
just
on.
play, guys.
Come on, let's just play.
Come
Please.
on, let's just play. Yeah.
Really?
What are you gonna read?
What was the last time that we discussed with Sir last time?
I think it's the muscular system, bro.
Oh yeah. I remember I'm talking about, histology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were talking about histology and all this stuff, but it is the tissue structure
Mm-hmm.
of the skeletal muscle. That's the only thing I can remember, I guess. No. But following to histology was, I believe, sarcolemma
Mm-hmm.
is the cell membrane of the muscle fiber,
Mm-hmm.
and connected to the sarcolemma was, what do you call this? Transverse tubules, T-tubules, man. They are small tubes.
Small tubes go
Small tubes. They help carry electrochemical signals to the middle of the muscle fiber.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's your turn, bro.
next to that is
100.
I believe what is sarcoplasmic reticulum. That's it.
What was that? What's the cytoplasmic?
I know. It helps. No, that helps. It is the storage facility for calcium ions.
Raise those a...
I can't believe
It's kind of 50.
I'm remembering this all this stuff while playing poker.
Damn it.
He raised 50? Yeah.
So, I think I remember when you were talking about that. He mentioned
Wait,
about
there's something else. After sarcoplasmic reticulum, there was there's
No, he called.
Okay.
Yeah.
sarcoplasmic reticulum. Mitochondria. This is the powerhouse. It is the powerhouse.
Wait, he needs 50 more.
It is the powerhouse of the cell.
50.
Powerhouse of the cell. That's why I remember all this stuff.
Powerhouse of the cell?
Yeah.
Mitochondria?
Mitochondria, man. Mitochondria. Mitochondria is plural. Mitochondrion is singular. Yeah.
Wait, come again? What was the plural for?
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria.
Yeah.
And
Mitochondrion is the singular form.
singular.
Yeah.
dude, it's pronounced as mitochondria.
Oh, okay.
Mitochondrion. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, constructing the sarcolemma are called myofibrils. Well, myofibrils are composed of proteins. It has thick filaments, and I believe Sir said, oh wait, the thin and thick filaments, it is composed of proteins called protein myosin.
Protein myosin.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
correct.
Did you just raise 500?
Okay, and then?
Yeah, rising. And that is the last thing I can remember about histology. What about you, Ed? What can you remember about skeletal muscle?
He's talking about the muscle tissues. Those are 3 types.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the 3 of them were called as the visceral, the cardiac muscles, and the skeletal muscle tissues. So primarily the visceral muscle tissues, usually they're the nerves coming from our body, so they're the weakest part of the whole system in general. And it's considered to have an involuntary muscle tissue, which means it doesn't take any control beyond consciousness, which is it needs a support from a specific application. So he talked more about that. Like when you view it in the microscope, it's a delicate muscle. Like you know how delicate my skin is, for example.
Wow.
And the cardiac muscles.
Cardiac muscles.
Yeah, the cardiac muscle tissue. It's the one that comes from our heart. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So the cardiac cardiac muscle tissue.
These are all coming from, you know, your what you learned, right?
Yes, it's what I can what I can understand.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Continue.
So the cardiac muscle tissues, it's from the heart. It pumps all of that blood,
Mhm.
and whatever that comes into like the response going from the heart usually goes to the brain. So that's how our love reacts to one another. Like let's say being rose, yeah. So that's that for the cardiac muscle tissues. And lastly, the skeletal muscle tissue.
What about it?
Without the other two, because okay, the cardiac muscle tissue is also an involuntary muscle tissue itself. Unlike the skeletal muscles, it's voluntarily, which means it can operate without the help of other body parts. Instead, the two, which is the visceral and the cardiac muscle tissues, rely on the actions
Showcards.
of the skeletal muscle tissue.
Showcards.
So, do you know, guys,
Showcard.
guys,
Oh,
showcards?
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know like
Oh, before
our bodies
RJ wins.
are?
I won.
Oh really?
Nice. Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh come on!
He got a higher pair than you, bro. See?
Well,
She's
my
a-
bears are better. I mean, look at that. No, I'm just joking. Anyway,
Oh,
let's get. I mean,
Stop with the video.
the joints we got. Some of our bones have like one or two to
Oh.
the other,
Yeah.
and that's how we. That's how we operate as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, it's without those two and without the skeletal muscle system, we will never operate. Like I said again, as a human being.
Operate meaning move.
Yes, we won't be able to move.
Okay.
So it's gonna be sad. Like we're gonna look like disabled.
There was one more topic that I think Sir talked about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it was the skeletal muscle action. Now
What
let's
about
talk. Let's talk about that.
Doesn't mean too specific, isn't it?
The
Did you just
contraction
raise
of a muscle
100?
does not necessarily
That's right.
mean
Yeah, did you
that
raise
the
it?
muscle
Raise it to
shortens.
300.
It
Yeah.
only means that tension has gone up or something else, and the muscles cause a limb to move through the joint's range of motion. They usually
Mm.
act in the following competing groups. There are the agonists, the antagonists, and the synthesizers.
Okay.
The agonists make the joint move. The antagonists are in opposite or in contradiction of their movement. And the synthesizers in a common folks explanation. Well, it just moves one more. Yeah, it was the primary group of joints. It was the calves, tibialis, coarctation, quadriceps, hamstrings, hip flexors, glutals, erector spinae, pectorals, upper neck, latissimus dorsi, deltoids, biceps, and triceps. You remember any of the lessons?
Yeah. This is basically like probably basic. The most basic thing with the skeletal muscle and the
Okay.
muscular
you're
system.
Mhm.
I'm not the smart one. I mean, seriously, this is just functions.
Yeah, it's so basic.
Yeah, it's so basic.
Oh.
So yeah, basically, the main function of the muscular system is movement.
Okay.
Like, see, I can move my arm, the fingers.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So basically, what it does is like,
Coagulation.
oh yeah, it can contract. The muscle
Wiggle.
has the ability
Wiggle.
to contract, which makes us move.
And then
And we call this
good guns.
no. Our muscles maintains our body posture, like how we stand, how we sit down. Basically, our muscles are holding up against our bones. They're wrapped around it, so that's what holds us. Because without muscles, we'd be like, we'd be useless. Like we'd be useless as hell. No, useless as hell. Anyway,
Anyway.
oh yeah, cool.
What about
Our muscles. they also move other substances inside our body,
Mhm.
like our veins. The heart is also a muscle.
Yeah.
So what it does is they pump other substances like from, let's say, from how we eat, or drink. So that's what it does, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Then what else? Oh yeah.
Where were you again? You were
Oh
talking
yeah.
about.
Our body generates body heat, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So every time we feel cold, our body reacts normally like, don't touch me like that, man. That's
It's
creepy.
like that,
I
it's
know,
like that.
I know. That's body heat transfer. Like when you're like when you're on survival mode, man.
Yeah, and it feels weird that you
Yeah.
feel other.
No, not yet. I'm
Oh.
almost done. But oh yeah, our skeletal muscles. They also
Yeah.
act as they're like levers. Like imagine our bones. They're the effort force. Then our joints, they're like the fulcrum. Then the bones, they're the actual lever itself. Then the object that you're trying to touch, like or push, that's the load.
Load.
Yeah. Basically, they work hand in hand from the joints to the everything in your body. They power up motor neurons in our
Big line
body.
to move.
Find it weird. Like they send like signals to your brain,
Uh-huh.
but it's probably normal. Then, other than that, they have like really weird contractions. Like there's one
You don't bend, right?
there's one that's like
No,
when you're twitching.
Big blind, small blind. You're
It's
obliged
called
to
it's
that.
called like single.
We had histology,
Yeah.
anatomy,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Skeletal muscle
Bone.
action.
actions, and what is your field?
Oh yeah, it's called physiology. Oh wait,
Physiology. Yeah.
yeah, there were other two things yet. Another two things I forgot.
You got okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
So there's another thing called like temporal succession.
What's
Like
Temporal
that, man?
succession.
Like it's like it's rapid. It's like it's your muscles are like slowly pumping like that.
What do you mean pumping like that?
I mean it's like
Yeah, how does it
starting to cramp up. It's starting to cramp up. Then it will stop. Then there's the very bad part, the very worst one, which is called the tetanus.
Tetanus.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
I've heard of that. I've
It's
heard
like-
of that.
imagine your
Your jaw locks
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
that's tetanus.
Yeah.
Then you have to wait for it to like unlock.
Mm.
That is really really scary.
Well, after physiology,
Yeah.
Well, I have something to share. This is the muscular system diseases.
Oh.
yeah, diseases, man.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, that's kind of like one of the things with
Basic topic, general topic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I've heard this one disease called myotonia. It's
What's that?
where your muscles actually develop something. It's kind of like a cramp. It's kind of like a cramp.
On your muscles.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and it's actually inherited. So, I mean, if you think about it,
Well, here is 1,000.
if you think about it, that's kind of a scary thing. I mean, do you
I
heard of
checked.
any other cases, other people having that kind of
Mm-hmm,
disease? I mean, well, if you think about, have you ever had this feeling that when you're gripping on something,
Mhm.
and you find it hard to release? Like,
Yeah,
you
it's-
hold on there, and then when you release your grip, it's
So
hard for
hard.
you to open it up. Because
Okay.
honestly,
It's kind of like it's kind of like isometric contraction.
yeah,
So
something like
that's
that.
yeah, something like
This
that.
myotonia.
One
Yeah.
What did you call it?
And
3,000.
there's this other,
Yeah.
Oh my
there's
God.
this other
I'm-
disease that
I'm folding.
not really a disease,
I'm
more
folding.
like a cramp if you think about it. Again, it's called myofascial. It's what we usually encounter when we're tired from work. You know,
Okay.
that burning sensation
Oh, yeah,
on your
yeah,
shoulders,
yeah, yeah. Your
especially
shoulders
when
are
you're
so-
carrying something
yeah.
heavy. Yeah, that's myofascial.
My facial.
Myofascial pain syndrome, as far as
Okay.
I've heard.
Where do they go facial?
That I will not understand.
It's
how
so
this thing-
weird, but
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Because it can actually move from one region to another.
So from shoulders to your hips to your
No, I
legs.
believe it comes from your thighs first,
Yeah.
maybe your calves,
Yeah.
What
and
the
it goes
fuck,
up.
JC?
So it's kind of a scary thing as well because it moves. it moves. What kind of cramp moves up your body?
So in order to relieve from this pain, you need some sort of rest.
Yeah, you need not entirely rest. You need physical
9-10
therapy,
Japanese.
like a
Okay.
massage or something to loosen up your tightened muscles. And there's this one disease that I find really, really scary. It's called fibrodysplasia.
Fibrodysplasia.
Yeah, it's where instead of growing muscles,
Mm.
tendons,
It
or
shrinks.
ligaments,
It shrinks.
no, it gets replaced with bone tissue.
Whoa.
So imagine having that is not cool, dude.
That's-
Imagine having your tendons grow bones
But
instead
isn't
of,
that cool because your bones get to get
yeah, but
bigger?
imagine the pain that you have to struggle through just moving your joints. That is
That
worse
is-
than arthritis. Worse than arthritis.
Well, that is pretty painful.
Well, I can imagine if any one of us have that, kind of disease. So scary.
Yeah.
It can happen to anyone.
Mm-hmm. So, what else do we got?
That's
I guess that's all of it. I
Yeah.
mean,
mhm.
Histology,
Mhm.
physiology,
Mhm.
anatomy,
Mhm.
Muscle action.
muscle action, and diseases.
Yeah.
It's 5 of them.
Mhm.
It's enough, no?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's good to reminisce on things like this.
Yeah.
Cheers to bio, my friend.
Cheers
Yeah,
to bio.
Cheers to
Cheers to
Bio.
bio.
Cheers to Sir Lam, aka
Cheers
Ramon
to
Bautista.
Sir Lam, yes.
Yes.